Eternal cyclic journey of souls through three worlds. This is part 4 of the 5-part series. And all this journey is being validated using 9 laws of world drama of souls. And of course, this is proved using laws of physics, these are the 4 branches of physics based on the size and the speed, and of course, metaphysics. The laws, the parts what we have seen was the overview. Then we have seen second part, the drama is linear. That means drama was like a line. Then that is laws 1 and 5, mainly quantum physics and theory of relativity. Then law 6, the second law of thermodynamics, popularly known as law of entropy, which says that quality degrades. So this is the quality axis. The quality is degrading, and then it degrades 2 ways, ideal and non-ideal. That we have seen, and that will keep on going up to infinity. That is what physics says. Here in this part, we are going to talk whether this drama is downhill or means like this, or drama is a cycle. If it were to be cycle, then there has to be some uphill momentum. So because naturally it is going from sato to tamo or good to worse, then there has to be something which will go from sato to tamo. So that we are going to discuss laws 7 and 8. We already discussed law 1 to 6. And then the next part, we are consolidating all these laws, and then we'll see the law of a journey, and then we will go through the total cyclic journey or overview of the everything. Let me go to the next one. So this is what we are going to see in this part. The drama is cycle or not. Now these are the macro laws. This defining part we already completed. Sato to tamo, law 6 and 6b we have already completed. Now in this part we are going to talk about sato to tamo, reverse of that, tamo to sato. So it is both ways, and it may become a drama is equal to cycle. And then we are going to see that this may not be possible with physics, so we have to use some kind of metaphysics. So that metaphysics phenomena, or metaphysics avtaran, that we are going to see. So this is metaphysics phenomena of avtaran, and how that is going to help is that quality which was degrading, you have to improve on that. So this is the way things should go. So there are 2 ways we have to, because we already known that from law 6p is that Purush Vikar controls the Prakriti. And we know that Prakriti means science. Science cannot do anything about it. Entropy always increases. This we have to control the Vikar. So this axis, you can call it, this is also Vikar axis. So Vikar has to come down. So this kind of a settlement. And then when Avtaran is the time of the settlement. So Vikar can either come down based on yoke, that we say, or it can come down with the black axis. This red axis is yog, black axis is the we'll see by the book. So this the 2 ways Vikar can come down. And then that means that this is the initial state, there is a Vikar, then again it comes back to the initial state. And then there will be, so this will again come back here, and then there will be another cycle. And the best part is that the red one, let me clear this. this red one, in God conscious mode, what red one is, we are going to doing some kind of a karma yoga, this one. So if you do the karma yoga, then you will get some kind of pralabdha. And this black one is a karma book, so you will only come in this part of the cycle. And then that we are going to explain is that if you do this red one and if you do the karma yoga with God conscious karma, then that is deemed as a purusharth, and that pralabdha we will be able to eat the fruits of the pralabdha in the next cycle. And this is how it's cycle. That means actually coming back, this is like this and this is like this, and provided that this is the cycle, this keeps on repeating. So these things we are going to see, and the next part we are going to see the total cyclic journey with 3 actors and 3 worlds, and we will be able to see, we have already seen, we have only talked about 2 actors. This is the part we are going to talk about the 3rd actor, which is a Param Purush or a supreme soul, or we can call it a God or Paramatma. So why that is required is that is only required if we feel that drama is cycle. So this is a cycle. We are going to talk about the cyclic journey, and we will prove that drama is cycle. Now let us talk the micro laws. We have already seen laws 1 to 6. Now we have seen defining 5 parts. Satotu Dhamma is Satotu Tamo. It tends to go up to the infinity. So the key is that this will go up to infinity. But then we have to see whether is drama or a script is going like this up to infinity to what extent. So we will see whether drama script is a linear, is a downward hill, that is very clear, is because we are even seeing it is downward hill, or it is going to be cycle. So let us discuss those points. They say that whether drama is cyclic. We are going to discuss the points from, let's say, history. So all the religious text or history says if you see history repeats, is nothing new. If you see some text, if you see the fine print, we also say that history repeats. That means historians knew that there is nothing new, it is repeat and things are cyclic. They have never given any proof. But then Western historians or Christian belonging to the Christian religion, they feel that they know that creation of it is history repeats and there has to be a creation of God. Then God has to be perfect and identical every time or cyclic. If it is repeat, then everything has to be ideal and it has to remain the same because God cannot make any mistake. But the problem is that they believe that Christ cannot be crucified many times for our sins. So that was not acceptable to them. That if history repeats, then every time Christ will be crucified. So they thought that that is not acceptable to them. So they say that okay, it could be linear. So there were 2 schools of thought. One says that history is cyclic. One says history is linear. Now, in fact, as per the King James Bible, heaven is defined as 3000 BC. Means if you see today, the 2000 years before Christ was there 2000 years ago, and 3000 BC means 2000 years plus 3000 years. So he says that there was a heaven. So there was 5000 years from today, around 5000 years, there was a heaven on the earth. And so that, and if you really see that there is always confirmed history of 2500 years. The 2500 years, we can assume it is heaven, but then there is no confirmed history about that. Uh, So religious texts also feel that this could be cycle. Now let us say logical way, or say karmic theory or cause and effect theory. Logical, scientific, whatever you say. What is the cause and effect? Means if you do something, then there is some effect. If you do something, there is some effect. If you see that, then cause and effect, so ultimately effect should match with the cause. And if this has to match with the cause, then, there is always, we always see there are going to be tangents. So then it will match. So if you map with the geometry, then it will say that it has to be a circumference, it has to be a circle, or it has to be a cycle. So with cause and effect, also it leads that it has to be, should be a cycle. Then as per Einstein block universe, there are two schools of thought. One says that block universe is a universe, another is, it is like a DVD. Let us see whether block universe is linear or circular. So this is Einstein block universe. This is the present. This is our future. This is our past. Now Einstein says that is one, time is also dimension. So there are four dimensions: X, Y, Z, space, and time. That means what? Time already exists. So both past and future, they say that time is already exist. Now there are two schools of thought. One is the growing block universe in straight line. Means suppose if I am today, then I will grow here. So tomorrow I am here, then again I am here. So I am just growing the block. I'm expanding in straight lines. So we will feel that things are happening. Okay, it is stored, but it is first time being played out. Or another school of thought is that it is a DVD. I mean, this whole thing is, kind of a cyclic. Time travel in circles, so nothing new. Then if that this whole thing is, there is nothing new. So if you go to the schools of thought, then you will feel that maybe drama is cyclic. Now, very famous Gita shlok. We can say this is from maybe religious thing. There's a history, scriptures, or we can say religious history. There's a Gita shlok there, yada yada hi dharmasya glani, and there is some kind of in Bharat mein some avtaran. So in Gita shlok, that shlok says that once there is an avtaran, when there is a dharma ki glani, then after avtaran Gita Gyan is given. And after Gita Gyan is then there is a Mahabharat happens. So Mahabharat, we can say that it can be a World War III, or it can be calamities, natural calamities, etc. Or in some religious texts, they say Kayamat or Day of Judgment, etc. And then what Mahabharat says that after that happens, new world or Bharat, means after Mahabharat, Bharat is being created. And Mahabharata says that when Bharat is created, the Pandavas will go to the heaven after creation of the Bharat. So, and that means that once Pandavas already been to heaven. Now, is it the time for repetition? Do we feel that there is time for Mahabharata to come? And if that is what you feel, then that could be a cycle. Means World War III may be a catalyst for the end of the cycle. Now, from the schools we have been studying, we have studied Darwin theory of evolution, which is linear. It what implies that simplest to complex, means from amoeba to these vegetables, then ultimately from monkeys to human. Means what it says that from unstructured to structured, or uh, from monkeys to human. So it is say unstructured to structured. Then it says that from monkey to human, they say that DNA from monkey's DNA, human DNA cannot be made. Or if you see that monkey sanskar and human sanskar are quite different, that also doesn't match. And the carbon dating theory, because Darwin theory of evolution says that it is many lakhs of years old world is there. But carbon dated theory, nuclear physics says it may not be very valid. So all these four things, unstructured to structured, this DNA from monkey to human and carbon dating theory. So they versus what is the law of entropy? What is the law of entropy? It says it is order to disorder, or it means say that from it is things from structure to unstructured. So that is what law of entropy says, and we know that law of entropy is, as true as energy cannot be conserved, even more truer than that, because energy always degrades. So these both are contradictory. That means that, and because of this, Darwin theory of evolution of things, drama being linear, is not true. So, but then whether it is cyclic or not, so even if you say law of entropy, so law of entropy says that it is going downhill. But then if to make law of entropy, then you need the help of metaphysics and God to, make it cyclic. But then definitely it seems the Darwin theory of evolution is not true. Then there is a population theory. What it says that we know that population keep increasing. So if you do reverse calculation, we go back population theory. So if you reverse calculate, then after 4,000 years ago, we'll say that the population is zero. So what we are saying is that population keep on decreasing when charge is higher or color is high. But then that way also time cycle can be that things might have started around 4,000 years ago. Then there is nature is full of eternal cycles. So we know there is a Rutu Chakra. So that four Rutus they keep repeating. And let us talk about astronomy. So we know that Earth around the sun, Earth moves. So that is 24 hours. And means around its axis Earth moves, that is 24 hours. Around sun, Earth moves, so that is 365 days or 1 year. Uh, then there is, let us talk about this is Earth's surface and this is the Sun's surface. We know that the difference between radius is R1 and R2 is around 100 and area is equal to 4 pi r square. So difference between area of Sun and Earth is going to be 10,000. So this is the area, this area of Earth and area of the Sun surface area is around 10,000. Yes. Now we know that Earth moves around the Sun 1 year. So what they are saying that every part of the rotation, it covers some area of the Sun. And because the area is 10,000 times. So if Earth moves around the Sun with little bit tilt in axis in every rotation, then in 10,000 rounds, Earth will complete will scan the total area of the Sun. So that will be, that will makes it around 10,000. So this says that cycle could be 10,000. Here it says 4,000. Here it says 5,000 years. Actually, we will be able to see the truth is that it is as per the Gita knowledge, or this is real Gita knowledge. Then the cycle is around 5,000 years. But all it points to that there is going to be some kind of a cyclic thing. Then now let us talk about special relativity theory. We already seen the word line in when we were explaining laws 1 to 5. And then let us map to the general relativity where there is a curved line because of the gravity, which is we will see that gravity is not a force but is a curved field. And let us see what it says. Spatial relativity, we have seen the word line. So this is the word line. This is a past, this is a present, and this is a future. So this is the word line. Black is a word line. And we have seen that this line can be in this area. This cannot happen this, and this is, kind of a law of causation. But now that this was the special relativity, but Einstein corrected by using the general relativity. What general relativity? It considers the mass. So we have to consider that uh, all these five elements, they they are they are affected by mass of the world, or there will be some kind of a gravity. So that will not be a force, but it will be kind of a curved thing towards the earth. So this is the third. So there will be a curved field because of the earth, and because of this curved field, the normally word line would have been straight, and it will go on. So it will be kind of a linear. Because of this, uh, the word line will also be curved, and once it is curved, maybe it will come back again to the same thing, and maybe it will come back, maybe we do not know about the time cycle, but it tends to come back. And that also shows that it could be cycle. And last but not least, ati se an. So we have seen that this quality is deteriorating, soul quality is being deteriorated, and if it is eternal, then can quality can keep on deteriorating till there will be a thermal breakdown, or people will just be not able to work because of lot of vikas and all that. So so all these points out to the fact that, let us, whether scripts is cycle or not, let us say it is a cycle. And if it is a cycle, then we know what is this law says. This law says that Purush Vikar controls the Prakriti entropy, and Vikalp controls the exergy, which is destroyed. So Purush Vikar controls the Prakriti entropy. And we know that physics says that uh, we know that physics says that uh, entropy controls time. So only if Vikar controls the entropy, and then only we can control the time. So if it is going to be a cycle, then let us see what is going to be the scenario. So this we have already seen in our cycle becoming Sato Tamo. So we have mapped law of entropy to Prakriti, and then we have mapped it to the Purush. We have given the example of heat engine. So we have seen the total four cycles. This is a script test, this is a script test, and then this is the Vikari Dunya. So each world is a cycle. Now we are at this particular stage. We are at maximum. So this was Nirvikari. The Q was highest, Q is reduced. Because of Vikar, Q is further reduced, and this Q is further reduced. So this is the state of affairs. So this we have seen. This cycle we already seen. Then this is the ideal cycle. This is a cycle with script S. This is a cycle with script B. So we are at this particular stage of the cycle. And if we don't control, it can go up to the infinity. But we know that it is going to be a cycle. So, so if it is going to be a cycle, then then what we are going to see, that this is the graph of T, this is the graph of T, this is the graph of T, and this is the graph of quality. So this is a T, this is a quality. And we already know that this is actually efficiency. So we already know that Vikar and time both are going to, so Vikar is increasing, entropy is increasing. So we know that this is entropy, this is Vikar, that we already seen. This law Sato to Tamo, that Vikar is increasing, entropy is increasing. And if this is going to increase, and then this is going to, see, this is going to increase. So if this has to be cycle, then this thing has to go down. This thing has to be go down. Either entropy has to go down, But we know that entropy cannot go down because physics doesn't allow, or then otherwise Vikar has to go down, and Vikar in turn will make entropy to go down, and then only we can have a cycle. So if cycle is there, then this time is zero. So then Vikar and entropy has to zero, but physics says entropy cannot be zero. So let us say what is the law 6b says. Law 6b says Purush Vikar controls the Prakriti entropy or internal entropy or Prakriti entropy. So that we have already seen, law 6b. Now if it is has to be a cycle, then we know that this is Sato and it is already become Tamo. So now it has gone to Sato to Tamo. So now something has to happen. It should go to Tamo to Sato. So that then only it will be cycle. So what is the key is this, because entropy cannot go zero. So Vikar has to become zero. So Vikar has to control entropy, and then Vikar has to zero. And Vikar is something which cannot be controlled by science. So there is always the Gita shloka, yada yada, this thing. So when there is a dharma glani or something at the right particular point, there will be avtaran. So that is the 3 years. So what is going to happen is, let me clear this. So we have come to this particular point of the cycle. So at specific point of time, there is going to be the avtaran. So this is the avtaran. And once that happens, then automatically with this red arrow, we are going to see that Tamo to Sato cycle starts. And that Tamo to Sato cycle means we are at here at this particular stage. So Tamo to Sato, there are two types of cycles. One is that Tamo to Sato, you say this black layer is gone, and then, one lubrication layer, or, we can say that script test layer has been made. So that is one way of doing it. So this is the one way of doing it, Tamodu Sato, and that is metaphysics using yoga. So this is a Param Purush yoga, then only Purush Vikar becomes zero, and it is, we are as if green lubricant layer is being applied. So that is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is this is a black arrow, and then from this particular stage, Vikar has to become zero. The black layer is removed, but then black layer is, but no green layer has come. So this is by karma bhoga, reshaping or kind of a, settlement. The Purush Vikar will be by karma bhog. So this is by the karma bhog, and this is, kind of a karma. This is kind of a by yoga. By yoga, we'll see what is the process of that. So by kind of a Raj Yoga process, your soul connects to Supreme Soul, and then that way this Vikar will become zero. Otherwise, most of our normally this Vikar will become like this. And once this happens, then this will go, if you complete this, so there are two ways. One is MY way, this is MY way, this is MB way. If you do MY way, there is a green signal, and then this will go back here. We will see why this. And if you do the MB, then in the cycle, you will come back in this, any of this black arrow particular thing. So these things we will see. And so these are the two options. So this happens. This is the total cycle. So we have come to this particular. This is a Sangam Yuga of 100 years. So there are two options. Either you do, and this everything starts when there is a avtaran. So from that avtaran, there are two options. One, you have to yoga, and normally by settlement. So settlement can be by yoga or by bhog. So these are the two things, and this is the, if the drama takes this particular cycle only, then there will be a further cycles. So what we are saying is this particular thing is this. this will apply to the next particular cycle. So then the next cycle will start. So these are the two options. Uh, so So we have seen script is cycle, we have seen Purush Sattva, and now we have to see that one important thing I've forgotten. What I was saying that there is Avtaran of third actor. The key is that, see, we have seen that in law of entropy, see, entropy works. See, this is our universe. This is our world, human world. Then there is the universe. There is always some kind of see, this is human world. This is the universe. So law of entropy. This is the law of universe boundary. Beyond that, there is a soul world. Okay. In soul world, there is no space and time. So law of entropy doesn't work. So if we want to counter the law of entropy, so supreme soul, which is eternal, beyond entropy, boundary to counter entropy law. So there has to be this avtaran, this has to happen from the soul world. So and this is the only entropy we have seen. Supreme soul is the only entropy which is always, it always remains in the soul world, doesn't take any birth. So there is no chance of it is going to be quality deteriorating. So it is ever pure. The Q is always infinity eternally. Every other soul will have Q up and down, and it will be a specific. It will never be infinite. This is the only charging source. And that is the reason, we say that Avtaran has to happen, because law of entropy works for the whole universe. So there is no entity in the universe other than the Supreme Soul which can counter the law of entropy, and the law of entropy has to be countered by controlling the vikar, and that can only happen because of the Supreme Soul. So that is very important, and that is why when we say there is a Gita shloka, yada yada, means time has come, where there has to be avtaran, and that is to counter the laws of the physics. So there is a paranpurush avtaran as per the Gita shloka. So let us understand the concept of avtaran, and we will see that avtaran is not a magic. Let us understand what is the law of incarnation. Let us first analyze this shloka. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani nirbhavati bharata. Now, what it says, yada yada means every cycle. So that is mentioned. Then what it says, dharmasya glani. Dharmasya glani means today we have multiple religions which were founded by religious founders, and then we call it is body religions, because I am, somebody can be Jain, some can be Hindu, some can be Christians, and they're always by birth. So it is a bodily religions, and we say that quality of the religion is getting downgraded, and that we know that. And so if that time has come, then a time has come from these multiple religions to that Avtaran entity or supreme soul will convert into one Atma Dharma, or soul religion. So that is the duties of converting multiple religions into the one soul religion. So that is, you can say there is kind of a transformation of the world. So this is the duty of the. So let us understand the concept, concept of law of incarnation. The concept is that it is not a magic. What it says that two souls can exist in one body at a time. Okay. So two souls exist in one body at a time. That means this is the host, means it is a body for the soul. So black is the soul of the host, and then this is the body of the host, and then incarnated soul or the guest. So this is the guest, incarnated soul. There are, there can be four types of incarnation. So we'll talk about it. There can be incarnate. So this is the concept of incarnation. Now, this concept. So let us say first is the incarnation of the departed soul, and that we call Laukik Brahmin, and then it has a power. So we call departed soul. We feed it. There is annual ritual in India, and then we can talk to the departed soul and find out certain things. So this is the guess. This is what is invited. We know uninvited means is departed. This can be a ghost. So it is uninvited things. It comes here, and that we always know there are exorcism of the ghost, or for psychiatric problems, if because of the some soul is already uninvited soul is entered here, there are psychiatric problems. So you do exorcism and solve the problems. So these two things we are not interested. We are going to talk about the religious founders are also getting incarnated, and then ultimately Supreme Soul is also getting incarnated. And this is all about that shloka, Yada Yada Dharma Saglani Nirvati Bharata. This is the kind of the law of incarnation. So now let us understand the concept of the religious founders. Uh, See, if you want to give the discourse, then it has to be of pure soul. So it cannot have any biological parents. It has to immune to karmic accounts, and because it is incarnated, so it has to be here, and this will come directly from the soul world because it has to be pure, at least for the first birth. And but then host can be a normal vicary body with karmic accounts, and that is why the karmic accounts is only applicable to the host. We will see the example of Christ, and then in the next subsequent birth. But then after subsequent birth, it will take another birth, so that incarnate soul will keep on taking births, and it will come to gati with all our souls. So religious founders also are like you and me. They will all at Qayamat time, everybody will go to the soul world. So then they will next birth, they will maintain the religion. So let us understand, like let us take the example of Jain religion. So Vardhaman is a king. So that is a host. So body plus soul is of the Vardhaman. So this is the soul of the Vardhaman, the king. The soul of the Mahavir at right time will come from the soul world, and from the soul world, it will directly come as at particular times. It will come here and it will start preaching the Jain religion because it has to be very pure. And because it is directly from the soul world, there are no karmic accounts available, and then so that only pure souls can preach. So this is how the religious founders, and then we say that the way we have seen Vardhaman Mahavir, the first is Ibrahim, and there will be some bodies. It is 2,500 years ago. Then Jain Dharma, 2,300 years ago. Gautam was a king. Buddha is the soul, so 2,200 years ago. Let us talk about the Jesus. Jesus is the one who was crucified because he was a host. So there was a karmic account of the Jesus. But the Christ soul is not crucified. So once Jesus is crucified, host is gone, then that soul will go and it will become Pope, and it will keep on maintaining the religion which is found by this thing. Then Muhammad and Gabriel 4,015 years ago, Shankar and Govind, the Sannyas Dharma, Muslim Dharma, etc. Nanak, very recently, Nanak, the body of the Guru Nanak, and it established the Sikh religion. So this is the concept of the religious founder. So that we have seen incarnate soul, so departed soul, ghost, and the religious founder. So these are event-driven things, but this is time-driven. So all religious founders come at a specific time in a world cycle. And of course, Supreme Soul also has a very specific time in the world cycle. So let us talk about uh, Supreme Soul. So this is incarnation of the God from the soul world. So it will of course come from the soul world, and it will come. See, let us say that from soul world, Supreme Soul comes, and then Supreme Soul gets incarnated. Here, so the Supreme Soul will come here. And what is this thing? Host is the Dada body of the Dada Lake Raj. And they are all Vikari bodies. So this is host is always because they are coming to the cycle. So the Q is always down. As we say that Vardhaman, Gautam Buddha, Nanak. So their host, their soul power is nothing to rave about. And then it will come to the body of the other Lekhraj. We can call it Nandi and all that. Then transform the old world to new world or Kalyug to Satyug by teaching Atma Dharma, which we have seen. What is Atma Dharma? Is the cleaning of the souls of the Vika. That black layer has to be cleaned using Gyan plus Yoga. That is a Raj Yoga lifestyle. And it is, see, it has you use a medium, also medium of the mouth used for creating or transformation of word because the knowledge has to be transferred. And once once Dada Lekharaj becomes the host for this guest, then it is renamed as a Brahma because it is, it is kind of a creation of the new world, or it is a transformation of the new world. Is the only soul who is, and we can see that this is the only soul, the Supreme Soul, is no biological, nobody, no life death cycle, hence it is ever pure. And what is the incarnation? Because we always celebrate Shivratri. So incarnation from ignorance to the knowledge, from the night of the ignorance to the knowledge of the day. So the night. So it is Shivratri, and it is celebrated normally on Bharat also because in that shlok also says that it is Bharat. It is birthplace is a Bharat, and Shivling is very popular. It is kind of this thing, God. And then there is a light, is recognized all over the world in all religions. In Jain religion also some Shila and all, Siddha Shila is there. So in almost all religions, there is an indirect reference of Supreme Soul. We actually, its name is the Shiv. So there are indirect references there as a Shivling, and then there is some of the religions, the light is there, can all over the world in all religions. It is always there. Now, what is the difference between what religious fathers do and what Supreme Father does? So the main difference is inheritance versus begging. Means in normal religious father we do bhakti, means it is it is a bodily religion. There are rituals and all that. But here it is inheritance. So there are, three kind of father. One is a Lokik father. So it is a biological father, Alokik or spiritual father, and there is a Parlokik father. So this is Supreme Soul is actually father of all souls. So it is, and so this is this is something permanent. And this is Supreme Soul is permanently the father of the all the souls, but we do not, souls do not realize that. And 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 this soul of host is, we call it, some call it Adinath, or it is Alokik Father. Then we give what it gives is the spiritual knowledge. So that actually this is real Gita. The spiritual knowledge is common in Bharat, and language is, the spirit knowledge is for all souls. It has to be, it cannot be in Sanskrit. It is in common Indian language. And this was given in from 1963, 1968 as a Sakar Murli and Avyakta Murli till 2017. If somebody studies it, this is spread all over the world, and this knowledge is going to be more and more prevalent all over the world till there will be the end of the cycle. And and this knowledge will help from convert Vikari world to the new world. And we always say that Swarg, 33 crore Pandav souls are there. We will see how the seed is there, and this this Brahma, in some other religion, it is called as Adam, or it is the first human. So this knowledge is transferred to the first human being. That is, somebody call it as Adam, or in Jain they may call it Adinath. And then we will see what is the inverted tree, and we will see how it is the seed. And then this knowledge of the Muli, if it is studied, it covers all scriptures, all shastras, and most of the religious founders, once they give, when this impart this knowledge, then because they cannot, they take their soul, they take birth, their soul get discharged, and ultimately they will also study this knowledge, this real Murli, and then will take part of the things which is relevant. Somebody will think things about ahimsa, somebody will take the things of purity, somebody will say that, you have to pardon some people, or somebody says some kind of a confession. The subset of this knowledge will be taken by those religious founders, and then at the right time, those things will be preached. Now we will see how this is this Murli, which is pitch, which is it is real Dharma Shastra Gita, and this is before Mahabharata. And what is Mahabharata? It is actually fight against Maya. So we will see that if you want to remove the vikars, so why vikar is because we consider ourselves as a body. We are actually soul. So that is a Maya. And then we have to fight against that. So we have to remove the vikar. So this Murli is what all about uh, Maya Yuddha, not it is about Mahabharata. Of course, it happens before Mahabharata or a Third World War, and because it is this Srushti Sarjan is Brahma, and then all that is Mukhvamshavali. It is not by the birth, not by the biological birth, it is by the knowledge. And this is given only one chance. It is only one birth is what is relevant. And this Paramatma, we will see how it become the seed. And so we will see this kind of a structure. What is the structure? Let me clear this out. See, now this is the inverted tree. I have shown some figure here. So this is the Paramatma. Now this is the invert. the charge, and this is our four cycles: gold, silver, copper, and iron. We are somewhere here now in diamond or Sangam Yuga. Now we can see that. So let us understand the cycle. So at this particular point of time, Sangam Yuga, God is Avtaran, then God gives this knowledge, it is the seed. This knowledge is given to Brahma Baba, or we can call Adam. Then it is passed on to the students, they call it the BK students. And because they are able to remove the vikars, so they are entitled to come into the deity religion. So that religion, you can say that, the soul religion, or we can say the Brahman religion, is actually a deity religion. So those people, see here, this is the cycle. This is at this particular point of time, there is Avtaran of the God. And then people will take two paths. One is the yoga and another is the vogue. So once who becomes the vikars, so they will remove this vikar. And then because there is nothing is automatic, and everybody is going back to the soul world at this particular point of time. But before you go to the soul world, you have to remove the vikar by the yoga. So those there will be it is a number or it is depending on the effort. There will be around 33 crore souls who will follow that at the end of the cycle, and out of this 330, which will remove the vikar, the black layer by yoke. So only those souls are entitled in this cycle of this 2500 years of the cycle. All these religious founders come under this cycle. So this is Ibrahim, or maybe this is Buddha, this is the Christ, this is Guru Nanak at different point of time. So Ibrahim will come at this point of time, this is come here. But then you can see that those things, they are who got purified, they come here, and it is very obvious that here Q is infinity. So this Q is down. They are all 100% pure, but the charge is more. The souls which are in this part of the tree, and this is, kind of the religious tree. So this is Ibrahim, this is a Buddha tree, this is a Christian tree, and then this deity religion, afterwards it bifurcated into a thing, and this, you can kind of, this all remaining things is kind of the Hindu religion. But what is very clear about is this, that charge of this deity is definitely more than the charge of the religious father. So this could be Ibrahim, this could be Buddha, this can be Mahavir, and this charge is going to be more than that. So let us now understand the difference between incarnation by the Paramatma and the religious father. So you see, religious father, when they incarnate, they come from here, so they are always pure, but with the specific charge. It is not infinity. Where this is infinity, because he's the only soul which is beyond the law of entropy. So because it doesn't take any birth. Whereas all religious founders, once they preach, they take the birth. So this comes in the diamond at the end of the cycle. So here, Paramatma comes here at this particular point. Because it has to be the end of cycle. Once Paramatma gives knowledge, there has to be some result. Here we know all these religious founders, you know that what is happening, the Christianity, Muslims, Hinduism, everybody is deteriorating, all right? So that power is not there. So as time goes, power goes down. So this comes at this particular point of time, whereas all these regions, they comes in copper and iron ore. So they come in copper and iron age. So they are in the last 2500 years of the cycle where everybody is body conscious. This is the soul conscious stage. This is the body conscious stage. And this diamond use is where you can be a God conscious if you follow, if you recognize Paramatma, then you become a God conscious, and then you follow the red line. And only if you follow the red line, you are part of this. So this is a script S, this is all script B. And those guys who have script S, then they have to also follow script B. So this is how the cycle is there. Avtaran Sthapana of the new world. So this is the new world. This gold and silver, or new world, which is by the Brahma. And here it is very important that the charge of these deities, these 33 crore souls. See, you have to see that here, once come from here to here, so there will be here, it will be population will be 2 crore at the end of the golden age. After the end of the silver age, the population will be 33 crores. So this is 0 to 2 crores, then it is 33 crores. Here it will become around 900 crores. And then all this will come into, so this is how the cycle is there. But important thing is that, see, here everybody is degraded. At this particular point of time, even Mahavir, Buddha, Christ, all are degraded. All Q is degraded. They are like, they are like you and me. But the thing is that those students of the Supreme Souls who understand, who will recognize the God, their power is going to be, they are actually, original soul power is going to be more than, because these are the only 33 crore souls is going to recognize the Supreme Soul. And here the Avtaran is, this is kind of the permanent. Here Avtaran is religion, and then the religious founder will do the palna. As I said that uh, Christ's soul will become Pope and all that. And then they will all these religious souls will come here, and from here it will come with us and again come to the soul world. And it will also get purified, and religious fathers will also get knowledge of the real Gita or Murli. Here the knowledge is infinity. The last birth they will get the knowledge of religious father, will get part of the Murli which is relevant is there. The Gita, they will get that knowledge, and then they will preach those things, and then based on the preacher, those scriptures are being framed. Here, because of this, because of this inheritance, because there is a relationship between father and son, because it is a soul conscious, and here it is all bhakti. So it is kind of a begging, but this is inheritance. And because of this inheritance, their inheritance can be maximum of 20 births. So here there are 8 births, here there are 12 births, here there are 21 births, here there are 42 births, and then there's one birth. So there are 84 births. So what we are going to see is that once you recognize God, then once you get that inheritance, then that inheritance will last for 20 births, and this is for the new world, and where this new world, this karma bhog is not at all applicable. And those deities, when you were after this, see here karma is zero, so there is no karma bhog, so there is sada sukh, and from them it will, some of them will branch into other religions, or some of them will become kind of a Hindus. And then at Sangam Yug, all those who are converted will come back here and recognize the Supreme Soul. The same religion is carry forward, and other religions, they will, carry forward by the same word. So as I said, there is a soul tree is always there. So once you are in this particular tree, you follow that particular religion automatically. So that's why this is called as the inverted religious tree also. Now this is Mukonshavali. So this soul religion, and this religion is only for one birth. So this is and everybody will get only one birth or one opportunity to understand the God, and that is around 100 years. So in that last 100 years, every soul will get an opportunity of all over the world to recognize the soul, and those 33 crore souls is definitely going to recognize. And here there are, many body religions are there. So, and we know that religious father, so this is the body conscious state. So wherever religious fathers comes, and the 2500 years, this is what is the body conscious. This 2500 years is the soul conscious state, because they are without vikas. So these are the deities. And then genuine history is only up to 2500 years ago. And let us see how the different religions See, the rest of the history of the 2500 years is mapped by different religions. In Hindus, we'll talk about Krishna Ashtami or Ram Navami, because this is Satyuga is the eighth birth. So this is the eighth birth of the Krishna. The Ram is the ninth one, is the Ram. So 9 to 20 is the Ram Rajya, and this is the Krishna Rajya. So Ram is 9. And then Hinduism says that these Satyuga and Kali Yuga, they are, of 64,000 years or lakhs of the years. So there, number of years have increased. Actually, it is only 1250 years of each yuga. Now let us take about Jain religion. So here, Supreme Soul, they call it a Siddha Shila. And the Nirvikari cycle. So in Jain Dharma, they always talk about 24 Tirthankas. So what this 24, this is 8, they are all deities, Tirthankas. So this 8 is in Satyug, 12 is in Tretayug, and 1 is the soul of the Brahma Baba, which is the soul of Krishna. So 8, 12, 21. So they said first is Adina, so that makes sense. With Adam, Adinath. Then 8 other Tirthankar, 12 things, so 21. And Mahavir Swami has come around 2300 years ago. So there are on 200 years gap is there. So there is a 1 plus 8, 12, and then 200 gap, there is a 2, and then there is a Mahavishwami. So that way they also are saying that they are also completing the cycle with the 24 Tirthankas. In Delwara temple in Mount Abu, they always talk about in Sangam Yug, there is a tapasya, and once who do the tapasya, those 24 Tirthankas do the tapasya, and then they will go to the heaven. And those Tirthankar, they will talk about Adinath, then they combine Adinath with Nandi. So Brahma Baba is Nandi, Bab Dada. So this is Shiv Nandi. So this is a Shiv, and then there is a Nandi. There is a symbol is Nandi. So Nandi is nothing but a body of the Dada Lake Raj. So there is a Nemina. Then there is a relationship. Neminath is related with Ram. Then there is a Krishna. So this is how even Jain religion is also, there is a mapping from Sato to Tamo. So the Tirthankar is also becoming Sato to Tamo. So this is how different religions have tried to map the cycle. So this is the Mahavir, this is the 24th Tirthankar. And that is clear. Those Brahmins or who follow the Raj Yoga, they are going to become deities, and deities will again become Brahmins. So that cycle is, this cycle is going to be there. Let me clear this. So we have seen script cycle, we have seen this, we have seen Avtaran. Now let us see because we have seen Sato to Tamo. So we have to see how Tamo and Sato. So that is happening by either metaphysics by Bhog or metaphysics by the Yog. So let us understand that cycle. So Purush is becoming Tamo to Sato by Karma Bhog, by script B, or Purush by Raj Yog. So Vikar has to become 0 if there is going to be the cycle. So these two things which we are going to see now. So we are actually applying metaphysics Y and metaphysics B. So what is metaphysics? We have to make Vikar 0, either by karma book. So what is a karma book? It is nothing but we have already seen law of causation for Prakriti. So there is of course karmic account we know in soul, and a script is written in our forehead. We all know that. So what is the law of the science? Law is the action is equal to reaction, equal and opposite. But here we have to understand that there is a delay in reaction, and because of the delay, there can be a compound interest also. So if you give body conscious act, if you vikarma, then it will be plus and minus. So this is applicable when the script B is or body, when you are in body conscious state, and then this particular concept is applicable. So every action is equal and opposite reaction. So this we know, this is the metaphysics by Bhog. So this is how we are going to settle. So this settlement, as soon as there is avtarana, there is a settlement. So there are two ways of settlement. So this is the black way of the black arrow. This is how the black arrow is going to settle. Now we are going to see how red arrow is getting settled. So by the this is my. So this is going to be for this. This is the one. These are the souls which will have a script S, or these are going to be the selected 33 crore souls. But what is important is that when 33 crore will say that at least 15% of the souls of India, this may be applicable, and maybe 5% of the souls of the rest of the world. So this knowledge has to be propagated in the whole world, and where these are the people who are going to grasp here. So now let us understand what is the concept of metaphysics of the yoga. So first thing is you have to communicate. Now you have to communicate with Supreme Soul. So Supreme Soul is what? It is a soul, and with Q is equal to infinity. It is only the charging soul. So when you want to communicate, what is important is that there is a frequency of soul and supreme soul. So that soul of frequency is only less than zero, and our frequency is always greater than zero in body consciousness. So we have to make this frequency. We have to make the same. How we are going to make same, and we have to communicate. So there is a man and buddhi. So in buddhi there has to be a gyan, knowledge. Knowledge. What is main knowledge is we are a soul and Supreme Soul is our Father, so we have to communicate with Him. So with this knowledge, so this is not a bhakti. This is a knowledge. It is and that energy is the thought. So it is with knowledge we create a thought, and with that particular soul conscious thought, the soul has to communicate. It has to consider itself a soul. It cannot consider itself a body. So if you want to consider itself soul, so your man has to be sattvic. So there should be, it should be moved from other body conscious of vikar and all that. So only when you become sattvic with their dharma, and then with intelligence we know you are soul and supreme soul. So there is a kind of a electromagnetic wave because of this man and buddhi, and electromagnetic wave is a self-generating. So this will generate this will generate this, and then it will keep on. It will, like electromagnet, it will reach supreme soul in the soul world also. And once you communicate, then what happens? Once things are getting communicated, and once there is actually a communication and frequency matches, then this is a resonance. So you get kind of a resonance, and resonance the resonance is what? At that frequency matches, there is a resonance. So this you people will experience atindriya sukh. Here indriya sukh is always based on law of diminishing utility, so it is always temporary, but you can find out once you get tuned with God. So you will experience Atindriya Sukh. So you will know that you are tuned with God. Once this happens, then another thing what happens is that you get that power, and with that power, all the see this is a principle of there is a sun, is the supreme soul. The lens is the focus by man and buddhi. You focus with E and B. So that is a Raj Yoga. So all that vikar in the souls that will remain, that vikar will all get exhausted, or it will get burned. So that is the only way. Once these vikars are burned using this incident rays and magnifying glass, so focus rays will burn also. This like a paper, it burns. The vikar should burn. So first there is a communication, then there is gyan, there is synchronization, and then this vikar is one. So once vikar is burned, so what happens? This is a soul, and there is a black layer. So this is a black layer. So this black layer is one. So what happens? The Q, the inherent Q, the charge of our this thing will increase. Let me so see what will happen. Once that black layer is removed, then there is a quality. In every soul, there is a quality of the Gyan, Pavitrata, Shanti, Prem, Khushi, Anand, Shakti. So these are the these are the seven qualities of the Gyun. And then these seven qualities, once once you get charged, so those black layers are removed, then you will feel that you have those seven qualities. And once you do the yoga, so because of these seven qualities, we will get eight powers. So what are these powers? This power is San, this power is San Shakti, Samaneki Shakti, then there is a Sametna, and then Vistar se Sar. So we'll not go into the Vyarth. Then there is a automatically you'll be able to parakne ki shakti, then there is a decision making shakti, then there is a samna, all the coin paristhiti ko samna karne ki shakti, and then there is a cooperate with others. So with all these powers, what will happen that this is real power of the soul. So what is the power of the soul is that, so let us understand this equation. The equation we have seen in the science, stress is equal to pressure divided by resilience. So stress is equal to pressure divided by resilience. Pressure is a paristhiti. So this paristhiti is same for all the souls. Okay. And how you handle is depending on your soul power. So if you remove the vikar, okay, if you remove the vikar, automatically soul power. If you do the Raj Yoga, then automatically vikar is removed and you will get this kind of power. Because of this kind of power, whatever is the parasthiti, you will always remain sthita prajna. Your sthiti or your frequency will always be tends to zero. Whatever is the if somebody gets angry and all that, your frequency is not going to change. And this you get, and this only happens if you do the Raj Yoga with only and only you can do it Rajok with only one entity, and that is a God. So once you do that, then your vikar is going to go down, and then you will get the original Q you will get and your original power, and that is the only way you will become happy. So key to happiness is you have to remove your vikar, because once your vikar is removed, then you handle the whole world using Gyan, Pavitrata, Shanti, Prem, Khushi, Anand, and all these eight powers. And that is what is Swarg is what Sada Sukh. So what is Swarg? Swarg is a nirvikari world. If you are nirvikari, then only this is possible. But thing is, it is not magic. So if you want to have a Swarga Pralab, then you have to do the Purusharth, do the Yaj Yoga of the Purusharth. So, and you have to remove the Vikar by Yoga. If that happens, then and then you will be able to gather this. So, so we have seen this how by Rajog how this Vikar is done, and then now we are going to see the real definition of spirituality. Means when we do the God conscious karma, and then we will generate the pralab, and then only we can go to the new world in the next cycle or the same cycle, and that is we are going to talk about. Uh, this is what we are going to talk about, the karma yoga. Now let us understand the concept of this. This we have already seen, MB and MY. We are now going to see about the karma yoga to pralabdha. This this is the cycle which we have already seen. See, this is the akarma, or karma is equal to zero, or we say script S, and this is vikarma. We are in body conscious state, so script is B. So this we have seen, this we have seen, and this is our current state. And we have seen that there are two ways we can handle it. In law 6, we have seen, so this we have seen, this is akarma, this is vikarma, this is akarma. Now, the key is that why some souls we'll have akarma, means it is a sada sukh, because no karmic accounts, but everything is deterministic. The key is the sukarma. So, see, every soul is going to do vikarma. Some souls who has gone akarma will do the vikarma, but in Sangam Yug they have to do the sukarma. Only if they do the sukarma, then only they are entitled for akarma. And that is what is the definition of spirituality. So definition of spirituality is that only if you do the sukarma, we will do the akarma. And actually this will be for the subsequent cycle. Like here we have already shown, this is a cycle, this is one cycle. So if I have done a sukarma here, then only I am entitled to this particular part of the cycle. If I have not done the sukarma here, I am not entitled to this cycle. My cycle will start from here. And that is what is. So this is what is we are going to explain. Let me erase those. So this is the MY. This is the you are using Vikar 0 by using Raj Yoga. So there are two options. So what you are going to do is that through Yaj Yoga, this black layer is removed and then this script S has been generated. How that is generated? Okay. So, so, so that is the one option. This is generated. And when we do the karma, and when you become a God conscious, when you do the Raj Yoga, so you do the karma using the God conscious thing. Then what happens? Then the karma becomes God conscious. So it will become, that is what is a Purusha. And that is going to generate this script. And that is what is generated pralaya. So there is no magic. You have to do the God conscious karma, or we can call it a seva. Then once we do the God conscious karma, the script, pralab script is generated. And then that particular, only if that script is generated, so in the next cycle, depending on whatever you do, you can start from here, 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 or ending. So there are 33 crore souls. Maybe here 2 crores till Satyug, then another 33 crores in Satyug. So this is number one. And then, as I said, there are 8 births here, there's 20 births here, there's 21 births here, 42 births here, and then there is a one birth here in the Sangam Yuga. So this is how the cycle is there. So this is depending on how much script S you have generated. You will come earlier and all that. So, so this is the key. This is the key. And once you have generated this script S, so this script S, which we already seen, this is your pralab. So this is what you are going to execute in this Satyug. And then you will, only if you run this script, you will experience Sadasuk. So there is nothing uh, indeterministic. Everything is deterministic, and because of that, you will get karma is equal to 0, and that is what is the stage of akarma. So this is how this is the definition of the spirituality. Spirituality is nothing but you are going to do sukarma, which is karma is equal to God conscious karma is going to sukarma. You do the sukarma, and the next cycle you will be you will get the benefit of the akarma, so you will always experience the sada sukh. Uh, and somebody who follows another path, so here at this stage, either you follow this path, red path, or you follow the black path. If you follow the black path, then you are removing the black layer by the karma bhog. So all karma bhog, you do the karma bhog, self-interest. It is like reshaping, or there is a karma. This is like we are applying the lubrication layer, and this is like a reshaping. But at the end of the cycle, end of the camel, this vikar has to go 0. Otherwise, nobody can go to the soul world, and all souls has to go to the soul world at the same time. So this is what is the karma bhog. And then So this is the second option of the karma bhog. Let me clear this. Because the second option of the karma bhog, and so once you follow this, then you can only come in this particular cycle. So depending on this, whether you can come here, 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 here. So this is 33 crore to around maybe 900 crore, whatever is the end of the world cycle. We know the population increasing. It depends on the original power of the soul and how many births it has taken. Based on that, you will come here. So this is because of the karma book. So this is what is the spirituality. If you do this rate thing, then and then you are able to come here, and then you are able to enjoy the pralabdha. And that is what is from the, if you do the karma yoga here, so here there was karma was zero, it was by default. Here karma was positive and negative. So that is the what is happening in the black layer. In the red layer, we have to do the karma which is equal to sukarma, God conscious form. If you do that, then only you will get the pralabdha of the swarga. Uh, Now, this is what we have seen. And then the key is this, that you already seen. If you do this, then only you are entitled to this red error. So if you do this work here, you are entitled for this karma. So that is the karma is equal to zero. So this is where the karma is equal to. So this is where if you do the pralabdha here, then you are entitled to this. Of course, this is entitled for the next cycle. And this is actually the definition of the spirituality. Spirituality is if you generate the script S that you have to generate in the Sangam Yuga, this 100 years period is there, and that only if you recognize the God. So with the charging station, you get connected, and when you work, you have to remember him, and then if this is generated, so depending on how much is generated, you will enjoy that much of the Nirvikari world. So Nirvikari world is the only place where you can enjoy the Sada Sukh, where everything is deterministic. So what we have seen is because of the law 6 and B, we know that we have the concept is that Vikar controls the DSG, and then DSG controls the time. And then if you want cycle, time has to become zero. And that's why we have seen the script is cyclic. Then we have see that this all we have to happen. So we have to have the Avtaran because it has to come from the beyond the universal boundary. And then Gita Slok also mentions about it. Then is Avtaran, when because of Avtaran, so there is Avtaran, so you have to go back. So this go back, there are two ways. One is yoga and bhog. We have seen that. But while doing yoga, you have to also generate script S. So that is what is a Purusharth you have to do, and then we will be able to enjoy the fruits of the one, and that is what is the definition of the pralabdha. And let me recap again. So here we have seen this Sato to Tamo. So we have seen cycle, we have seen drama cycle, and we have seen Avtaran, MA, we have seen how we have seen this is MY, we have seen MB. And because of what the key is that once you do the MY, you are entitled for the next cycle this Swarga Sukh, and this is what is, if you do the Purusha, there is a Pralabdha. If you don't do the Purusha, normal Bhog, then you will only get this depending on your number of births. There is no Pralabdha. So this is what is a Pralabdha. And that is actually the definition of spirituality. And this arrow is what is intrinsic. So here in the law 8, if you do the God conscious karma, then only you are entitled a karma, or karma is equal to zero. So Satyug and Tretayug is Swarg, you will enjoy the Sada Sukh. Otherwise here, there is always Sukh and Dukh, which is indeterministic. So this is, you are the part of the karma bhog. So this is a karma yoga. So we have seen Law 7, we have seen Law 8. In the next one, we are going to talk about the cyclic journey. While talking about the cyclic journey, we are going to talk about all these laws in the part 5 of this, and this will be cycle. That also we will be able to see in 3 different ways. This cycle, which we are going to see in 3 different ways.